Thank y'all so much for joining us for day 4 of Realtist Week, which is the best day. Can somebody say the best day?
The best day
is Wire Day.
Wire Day.
Hold on, but look at Dr. President. He's not feeling the love. He's not feeling the love of Wire Day. Wire is, if y'all been to a convention, they say wire is
Wire.
Thank you. Who was it? Thank you. But today is all about women in real estate, and as y'all can see from the screen, we have some dynamic women in real estate in Memphis. But before we get into that, I would like to give space for some of our other leadership in the room, namely our current NAREB president, Dr. Reginald Harris. And you can come up, Dr. President. And we also have our past president of the Women's Council, Kate Thompson. If you could wave for the people in the back. We have a couple of past NAREB presidents, Ms. Barbara Conway, Ms. Rashida Jones, and our RVP, Madam Wanda McGowan. And we have some more NAREB board members up here. But I'm gonna let Dr. President speak.
All right, good morning still. Right, doing okay? All right, it's a great time to be a realtist. I did that for one again. We had a meeting yesterday, and I let realtor slide by for a little bit, but we will not let that slide by for the rest of the week. We are realtists, right? I'm not going to do a full sermon on what a realtist is, but just know that we cannot be realtors. And that's one of the main reasons that NAREB is in existence, okay? We created our own table. We didn't wait for a seat at somebody else's table, so we created our own and we became realtists, okay? Our forefathers had an awesome idea of naming it the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Isn't that a cool name? Right? It's in everywhere. You ain't got to worry about DID, whatever it may be. Come on, how you deny the National Association of Real Estate Brokers? That's what it is. So I'm just here as Memphis president. I say this, and I said this a few minutes ago in my elevator pitch to this young lady right here. We're the #1 chapter in the country. Y'all gonna really smile for something. Not just Women's Council, not just YRB, but the organization, the chapter of Memphis, and it's all because of what you all have done. Labor of love. Some people are volunteers, some people are voluntold, but you are participating, right? We believe that you guys are going to receive a manifold harvest from everything that you've done, whether it's in the email, whether it's in the text, whether it's help input a membership name, whatever it may be. We believe that everybody receives something from this labor of love. Because do we get paid? Do you get a check? I don't get a check, right? So, since there's no check, this is a love movement, okay? And with it being a love movement, I love to make sure that everybody is empowered. So it's my hope and prayer that as you guys leave this place, and everybody leaves with something that they did not have before, whether it's motivation or connection. So please, I know some of you may not be outgoing. It doesn't really matter to me. You need to make sure that you leave here knowing somebody that you did not know before. Okay? I'm celebrating. You got red on. I got my red on purpose. Right? Just a little bit. And I put my red on that because one of our speakers is Rashida Jones. Okay? This is the young lady who created multiple different programs, but this is just one of many for developers. Okay? So if you didn't have an idea of wanting to be a developer, that's something that is in the room right now. You don't have to wait, you don't have to find out who to email, they're in the room right now. Okay? So for those of you who are not members, do not leave. They don't like me doing specials on membership. They don't like me doing specials. So we're not such specials right now. For about 2 hours. Okay, 2 hour window. Close business for about 5 o'clock. Okay. They don't like me giving specials. I'm selling. So I can see. All right. For first timers, people that have never been a member before, until 5 o'clock today, you can join for $100. Okay? The fee now is $175, so that is an extreme discount. 5 o'clock today. Oh,
Okay.
they're gonna cut me. So, before the 5 o'clock hits, right? $100. $100 for the people in the room. So you can stop texting, Kiki and Titi, right? But you have to be in this room in order to take advantage of this $100 special, because I genuinely want you all to join me as part of this organization. Okay? All right, somebody should give you time because I'm keep on. No. So again, we love you guys, we appreciate you, and please stay connected. We have 3 more days left. Thursday. And everybody likes to have fun too. I don't know if you do that as well. We serve a purpose, but we also have fun. We have a karaoke night on Friday.
Are y'all gonna sell it out? It's sold out.
Which one sold out?
The karaoke.
Y'all should click. What about Thursday? What we doing on Thursday? Speed networking. That's not sold out, is it? Madam President, speed networking. Sister E met without E. Sister Fern. Okay, all right. So we'll circle back on Thursday. We got Thursday, we got Friday, we got Saturday, all right? Now, many of you work out, like, right? Some don't, okay? No judgment zone. But we're gonna have Realtist in the park. The reason I bring that up is make sure you stretch before you come out to Realtist in the park. We're gonna do kickball, we're gonna do frisbee, playing cars, we're gonna do anything active, but we're gonna have fun together, okay? Y'all got it? Things are changing last y'all didn't work out. This is no judgment zone. Everybody just work, just smile, give me a smile, please. No judgment. Just trying to make sure nobody hurts themselves. We haven't ran in a while, okay? So that's at 3 p.m. See Our Park on Saturday. I still want you to rest so we can feed you, okay? All right. Anything else? Did I miss anything? All right, April 30th. It's coming up shortly, April 30th. Very important date. Like I told you, we are the number 1 chapter in the country. Because of that, we've been chosen to be part of a bus tour, okay? There's 8 cities that are stopping. We are going to be the stop on April the 30th. We need everyone to come out, okay, on April the 30th. So we have our National Executive Board that's coming in town with about another 60 people. We're going to have a band playing. There's going to be a lot of things going on. We're going to be at the Riverside Baptist Church. We're going to have the Regional Voice at 6 p.m. on April the 30th. You come early at 5. There are options in room for sponsorship. So see Madam Shadid or myself for that as well. Okay? Let's see all these people. We got the Divine Nine people that are there. We got the NAACP. They're trying to do a Divine Nine stroll into the church. I don't know how that's going to work. So I'll let y'all stroll outside. Anyway, so the point is, tell you people coming out to support, again, affordable home ownership in the city, all right? Okay, I'm done this one today. God bless y'all. Thank you.
And before we move on, I would like to ask the Women's Council Board to come up while you're on your phone and standing on the wall. Can y'all come up, please, and welcome them as they come? I want to acknowledge people. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hi, okay, let's start off. I am Kizzy Talley. I am the corresponding secretary with the Women Council of NARAD. If y'all haven't joined Women Council, come on over so y'all can be with us, girl. Men, women, we have fun every month. We're doing something, so please come over and join us. It's only $50 for us, so but you have to join NARAD first. So let's move on.
Hi, my name is Emily J. Thompson. I'm the second vice president with Women Council of NARAD. And today, since you have the $100 special, or you have the special, go ahead and add that 50 onto it. If you haven't joined us, well, we have a group of phenomenal women and men that we're in the communities. So that's one reason why I joined, is because I wanted to join a community of women that empower and uplift each other, and also in a community.
Did you see how Madam Shadid looked at you? I'm Teresa, I'm first VP of Women's Council of NARAD. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We love the energy in the room. I'm all about financial literacy, and that's what Women's Council is. We're gonna teach home buyers, we're gonna teach our realtors, and we just want everybody to understand the power of home ownership. So if you didn't bring a friend, make sure you bring a friend to the next event. Thanks for coming.
My name is Brody Womble. I'm a community affairs officer for Simmons Bank, and I'm all about relationships and networking and all that good stuff. So if y'all would indulge me, because I want to promote the brand OE. All right, so all y'all, it's my meeting.
You gotta turn it the other way, bro. Y'all have to train that way.
All right, so all y'all.
Right, I got to try to
Oh, and I serve as treasurer for.
Thank you all. Thank y'all so very much. Y'all, what I want to say about this board, they really are passionate about what they do. They help make Women's Council what it is, and they make it, like, they take a lot of load off of me and the things I have to do. And one thing they did mention, so Teresa is the education chair, so if you signed up to be on the education committee, you'll be hearing from her. Emily J is the membership chair, so all things membership, you'll be hearing from Emily J if you haven't already. And Kissy is the communications chair, and if you haven't already, you'll hear from her. Okay, without further ado, I want to bring up, while we're here, we'll do that later. But I want to bring up our panel for YFA, Ms. Kiera Harvey, I'm sorry, thank y'all. Y'all got, okay, they keep me in the frame. Okay, I want to bring up Kiera Harvey, Cheryl Muhammad, Tia Dennis, and Rashida Jones. And because I believe in allowing people to, they can speak more eloquently about themselves, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. So, you first up, honey.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kiera Harvey. I am a mortgage lender here at Renaissance Bank. Thank you all for coming out. Okay, that's it. Okay. Thank you.
Rashida Jones. I am a career realtist. I serve locally and nationally, and I just want to see more of us in homes.
Tia Jennings, broker and coach. I think I'm a career realtist too, I'm gonna say that. Well, not career realtist, working my way up, but realtist since day one. NAREP was one of the first organizations that I joined when I got my real estate license, so, yes.
I'm Cheryl Muhammad, real estate broker, and I own the real estate school, and I'm the lead of 2 firms. Well, I've been a realtor since I got into business. We didn't have a choice with Mr. Lawrence Johnson. You had to sign up, so I'm a realtor forever.
You got a microphone. How did you end up in the mortgage line?
Okay, so when I graduated from the University of Memphis, I was working in like the hospitality field, and I was like, I have a degree. I don't want to stay here. Like, I gotta do something. So one of my coworkers at the time was like, well, I'm leaving and I'm going to work at Regions, and they're hiring. So I said, okay, well, I'm going. So applied, got put out at Regions as a teller. And I feel like if you can make it at Regions, you can make it anywhere, honestly. But quickly knew like, okay, I don't want to stay here either. I just saw people coming from the outside getting promoted faster than us who were already there internally. So I said, okay, well, I have to make a pivot. So we had to do like a presentation to our branch. Everybody had to like study one part of the bank and present it to the team. So I studied mortgages, and that was my presentation. And I was like, I can do this. So at the time, my boyfriend, now husband, was getting into real estate, and I pivoted over to the lender he used. So started out as her loan officer assistant, and then just kind of climbed up from there. I was an assistant, processor, and now originator. And what was that, like 8 years ago?
I think, so you asked the question, how did we get here? I would say, through mentorship and really, really good, strong leaders who, had a vision I couldn't see for myself. I am probably a serial entrepreneur. If I think back, my parents were entrepreneurs. My sisters, my brother, I think my kids were early entrepreneurs. And I think it's something to be said about how you arrived at thinking you could do this thing called entrepreneurship. And I think part of it is just DNA. But I would say, the running joke when I started at Payton Company was not another CBU student. Like that was, Ms. Conway is laughing, but that was the thing because Dr. Payton would bring in these students from his tenure as a professor at Christian Brothers, and we'd be interns and we'd get licensed and he'd be helping us out of other stuff. And so he was just always instrumental in making sure students had an understanding of real estate, and he created opportunities for us. And he was certainly my mentor until he left here. But with that understanding, I think that from a career space, I think I touched on it all because of Dr. Payton, because he himself was I'm gonna open up a title company. I'm gonna open up the insurance company. He was a daycare owner. And he didn't touch anything that he didn't do successfully. And he wasn't gonna let you be at his company and not be successful. And so all of those things were how I evolved. But what stuck with me was really the mentorship, the coaching, and so my position is someone gave me that opportunity to seek success, and so I personally make sure that I'm extending it to other people.
How did I get here? Well, most of y'all know, I'm very direct, and my word is struggle. I was a little bitty baby agent, and I had amazing mentors, and I was doing a pretty good level of production, but it was really hard for me. And if I'm being honest, if I had kept going the way that I was going, I would not be in the business today. So I was looking for resources, and while my counterparts were great mentors, there was still something that was missing. Like, they were great on the mindset piece, but there was a technical piece that was missing. Like, I didn't know how many people I needed to talk to get the amount of business that I wanted, the numbers behind the business. I had the mentality, we're black people. We got grit, we got grind, we got hustle. But if you grind, and you continue to do that for a long time, you grind yourself down to nothing, and that's where I was headed. So I saw out a way, there has to be a better way to do this. So as the first black broker of Keller Williams, I saw that one, there were not a lot of people that really looked like me in my firm. There were not a lot of people that were, we were at one of the biggest training companies in the world, and yet our black agents were not implementing these things. They were not using the tools. I came in, got into coaching, I was able to increase my business 150%, and I've been up ever since. So I'm like, how can I get more people who look like me to be successful and have more representation within this company who has the tools? It's just not there. So I've ended up becoming a broker, and then I decided to go into coaching, and that's what I do now, primarily. We have 2 consecutive Rookie of the Years for KW, so I think it's working because our agents are getting into production, they're doing the things, and if you're looking for the secret, we've always known what to do. And I think that I was searching for the secret. You know that you need to talk to people, you need to call people in your sphere of influence. Well, some of us needed to build a new sphere of influence. Mine was disparaged, so if I had to stay where I was at and deal with the people that I knew, I'm from what they call now the bottom. So how do you go forth and build a new spirit? So I was able to get that information and, break it down into a place that resonated with me. Because my white counterparts, of course, you have a spirit influencing your pharmaceutical sales, but what about me? I come from the bottom. So how can I do business with my spirit of influence and be as successful or more successful as the people that did not look like me? And that's how I ended up getting into coaching.
I got here from being tired of doing hair. I had the first 24-hour salon in Memphis. And I said, I need to do something. These feet are tired. Not that I worked 24 hours a day, but I always had to go and make sure they were not tearing up my salon. But how I really got in it was with my first realtor. It was horrible. I said, oh my God, I got to get into real estate so I can save some people. If I could just save one, I'm okay. So that's what ran me to real estate. Then I went on to other companies. I said, oh, they don't want me to do real estate like I want to do it. So I need to start my own. And that's what I did, and I brought on other people that knew more than me. I always like to be not the smartest in the room. You can't be my friend unless you're smarter than I am, because you gotta bring something to the table, because I bring a lot. So that's how I ended up here doing this, running a firm, owning a school, and doing other stuff, and an investor. I already knew that I couldn't just sell real estate. I had to own real estate too, in order to create wealth. I got tired of seeing everyone coming in and buy these houses for nothing. I said, I must be losing my mind. I know I'm smarter than this. Why am I selling this to them when I can buy it? So that's what I did, and today I have about 3 rental properties and 3 commercial properties. But let the property tax say up, they say I own 7, even though it's 1 bill. So I hate taxes, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for that. I want to, one thing that I noticed about what all of you said, where there were 2 things that stood out. One was mentorship. Somebody spoke a word to you and it caused you to go forward. Or there was a pain point. You didn't want to stay where you were. You was tired of standing on your feet and you made a decision. So in thinking about that, thinking about the pain point or the word that somebody spoke, what is something about what you do now that you wish people understood, whether it be your clients or it be your fellow colleagues?
I wish people understood how hard real estate actually is. I think we live in an era now where you got all this satire and stuff on TV and the selling sunsets and everybody's popping champagne with their goons, pushed up to their chin and just having a good time. And I remember specifically having a conversation with an agent. I said, well, what do you envision your real estate career looking like? She was like, oh, I'm showing houses and I have my clients and da-da-da-da. I said, well, okay. Well, there's one thing that's missing. Like, where did the client come from? She was like, oh. She didn't know. So the part that people don't see, the struggle that we go through and how hard we work. We have so much stuff going on with NAR, and it's hard to be a realtor because I'm like, what are y'all doing? Really, when it comes to advocating for our rights on that side. But that's neither here nor there. But I wish people knew how genuinely hard we work as realtors and how much tenacity you have to be in this industry.
I would say, I think you give up a lot to be successful. And I think most people who have been, in business for themselves, as long as we have in most cases, know what failure looks and feels like at some point. but we also know the value of that failure. And my journey, I would say I wouldn't have it any other way, because I think, similar to how you had a poor experience about Muhammad, that said, you know what, how many people does it take to screw the light bulb to steal a house? Because my experience just wasn't that great. And that's how most of us, enter into an idea that we could do something better than the experiences we received. And so I think I would hope people understand that, one, the failures are just as important as the success story. And then that ability to, help others navigate the waters that you tread to avoid those same mistakes is also very valuable. I think everything is highly polarized. I had a client tell me the other day, well, I read it through ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told me that, we need to do some landscaping. And I said, well, you probably put the roof on too. Did it tell you to put the roof on? Because, so you're navigating all these external things to do good business, but to be good advisors and to be credible. And so I would hope that people cherish the fact that when you have networks like Women's Council of NARAB, and you have a robust amount of experience in NARAB as an organization, that people recognize that sometimes we are not in competition for the same type of a thing, but we're all championing the same success, and my failure should be an opportunity for you to develop your success.
Can I say two things? Okay. First, I would say for buyers, loans are not one size fits all. Just because this person got this type of loan and they got this type of rate, it's subjective. So you can't compare your situation to somebody else's. And then two, I would say, as lenders, we really work as a team. We have a team behind us. You may not ever talk to the team members, but we do have a team. And sometimes if things happen, if it's a delegated task, sometimes it's beyond the lender's control. I'm the face, but there are people behind me too. So I would say just to know, extend grace, because sometimes it really is beyond our control.
I want to say, put the client's interest first. You're going to get your commission if you do your job, but know who you work for. That's my biggest problem in this industry. And treat them like you would want to be treated. You don't want anyone hollering at you or getting irate. You're not gonna holler at me. But you should not do that. That's like a prize. That's something God gave you. So act like it. And also hone your skills. I know you've been in this business 30 years, but real estate is changing. It changed constantly. So get more than 16 hours.
I love that you said that, Madam Muhammad, because it's what you said about keep the main thing. And thinking about that, I want to touch on something with you being past president of NARAB. And one of the things I admire that you did, that I saw, was you took the time to talk to some of the past local presidents and, got their stories. And I want to know, why was that important for you, and how did that help you lead?
It was important for me because they've already done it. They've made the mistakes and they had some successes. So I couldn't do it unless I talked to them. I couldn't do it exactly like they did it because my mind processed things differently. And one thing about me, I love NARAB. I love being a realtist. And being the president, that's like having another job that you don't get paid for. But it's a job. And I needed them to help me, to be there for me if I had questions. Or if I was doing something wrong, get on me. I got thick skin. oh, I did that wrong, okay, let me straighten this out. You're not gonna hurt well, you might hurt my feelings for a minute. I may cry for a minute. Then I'm on top of it. So I needed them.
Thank you for that, Mohammed. See, a simpler question. With you being, you've already mentioned that you were the first black broker at your firm, and that should help you to transition into coaching. So when you think about your coaching, can you share some of the most impactful stories or an impactful story that you've experienced as a coach?
Impactful. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. So, each one reason, right? My baby looked at the picture and I'm trying not to cry. It was hard going to those uncharted territories. I don't come from a diverse background. I ain't used to dealing with other people like this. So it was not safe. And people, I know it's politically incorrect to say that. I ain't dealing with white folks, I'm from Westwood. You know, the bottom, it was just us, right? So I've never came into corporate America. I got into real estate because Carpal Tunnel took me out of the hair business. So my clientele was 100% black. I'm like, God, what are you doing here, right? So I'm like, when I got the opportunity, or when I was commissioner, or I was minding my own business and I studied folks, I was an ARAB. Shirley and I served passionately together on the board. That was never in a million years. But when you get the opportunity, reach up and pull somebody else with you. Because I got tired of being the only one at the table trying to get them to see my perspective. They don't understand. While I'm passionate, I'm very aggressive, and I got my point across. You need other people at the table to help us grow. And from that, we have Clarinda here. We have a fellow KW coach here as well. She is helping lead the charge in building what we started. You know, and she has people that are growing in her community that are future leaders in the industry. If nobody ever steps up and you don't bring nobody to come behind you, then the mission cannot continue to thrive. So I challenge everyone here, if you see an agent struggling, if you see somebody that needs help, if you see somebody that needs community, operate from a space of abundance, take their hand, just like somebody did us all up here. Bring them into an ARAB meeting. We don't know, a lot of these agents, they don't know about a lot of this stuff. And you'd be surprised, I'm like, ARAB, ain't nobody told you? You know, get in community with these people, and we have to build our bench. We're gonna get old, we're gonna get tired, we're gonna retire. So who's coming to keep the mission going and keep the marathon going? So reach back, everybody in this room, and help elevate somebody else in the industry that's looking up to you as a mentor. And, you know, so we can keep this thing going, because the mission is on all fronts. It's not them and us, it's them and us. Right? Because we got to put a little chocolate in it.
So Madam Rashida, I've had the opportunity to be a part of a couple of initiatives that you spearheaded. Our president was one of them with the developers. Can you talk to us about the Alliance for Housing Progress, the Realtist Developers Academy, and the receivership?
So organically, I would say that what NARAB produces is community relationships. I don't go to a NARAB national event that I don't get a few referrals that actually get to closing. And so from the NARAB roots, we've built partnerships across this country that formalize relationships that brought the Alliance for Housing Progress to Memphis. That was really on the back of us doing our State of Housing Black America here in Memphis, where we talk about all the things that Black homeowners face in terms of challenges in getting to homeownership, together with the challenges that real estate practitioners face as a result of what you just described, which is my base is Black, folks I serve are Black, my network is Black, my peer group is Black, my church is Black, so I am selling to, in most cases, that that network of folks who have the least access to achieve what I said. And so at the foundation of that, there were leaders from across the country who supported us in building what's now called the Emerging Developer Academy. The Emerging Developer Academy is a cohort supported by Freddie Mac. They're developed the Developer Academy training. It's place-based. And our first cohort was last year in partnership with the City of Memphis, Shelby County, Freddie Mac, NAREB certainly is our partner. A number of partners who came together that really wanted us to, we sell the product, but developers help get the product to market. And while we don't know the distinction that is often made between a developer and builder, we know the distinction of putting sign in the yard, right? And so we recognize that even on the backs of like NAREB data, one point that you'll often hear National President Ashley Thomas III talk about, which is, our members average about $26,000 a year, at least that's what they report. So when you talk about Black practitioners in the landscape, we represent about 4% in origination business across the country. I don't know if that number has shifted any. But when we talk about the ecosystem of how we show up and participate, we are always in that minor space. We are always a minority of the trillions of dollars that real estate produces. And so our approach is that these academies are designed to disrupt that, to give the education at a foundational level, and then help get units on the ground. The other piece of that work is in Memphis specifically, we have an enormous amount of blighted vacant property. So that impacts our work in communities that we serve, right? When you go and, Rashida's guilty of putting in a nice new house, in Orange Mound, it's beautiful. It's got granite, it's got the water who's living in, not the one in Buffalo Real Fast, the luxury vibe, right? Right? It's a beautiful product, but on the other side is a vacant lot that the man don't want to keep cut, the tires build up, and now I'm a homeowner and I'm cutting his grass and the grass over here. And so our market and our communities are impacted by the amount of blight that we have, right? And so our receivership program really teaches us how to activate in the spirit of community for community in partnership with the environmental court to legally look at how we address blight in our community. If they're not gonna keep it up, sell it, get rid of it, do something, but the ability for us to do more impactful work and to sell more homes and to make more homes available also means that we have to address the blight in our communities, which our community receivership program does that. We'll actually be introducing another round of community receivership June 14th and 15th. And so you'll see that come out with our partners in NAREB and Women's Council. And you wanted me to say something else? Those two things. So that's it. Okay.
Thank you so much. Is that better? Is that better?
A little bit, you might need the microphone.
Kiera, you were recently installed as the first African American president of MBA. So, and thinking about that, how does that feel? And then two, how do you hope to impact the organization?
Honestly, who that is for people who don't know the NBA.
Yes, so NBA is the Memphis Mortgage Bankers Association. So I'm the first Black president that our Memphis chapter has ever had. Honestly, it's about time.
Right.
It's about time. So it feels good to have made history. And you said the impact that I want to. So for me, I would like for my years to be inclusive because honestly, I don't see a lot of us when it comes to like the events, things like that over the years. I've had to climb the ladder to become president. So I want like people that look like me to know like we are welcome. Like there is a space for us. I don't want to say we have to take it, but it's there. Like it's a space for us. We are welcome. That's really the biggest thing that I want to like let people know. You know, we can be involved too.
Thank you so much. And let me see, I think I have one more question for all of you. And then we'll open it up for y'all. So the title of this day is Her Blueprint, Her Legacy. Y'all share the blueprint, how y'all got where y'all are. So I want to talk about your legacy. What is the legacy you want to leave here in Memphis and beyond?
I'm ready. Well, the legacy I want to leave is properties for my children. Not only my children, but my friends and people in the company. You all are actually sleeping on deals out there. I say when I see something raggedy, oh, I see gold. I see money. I don't want a loan to buy it. I can negotiate better than that and use cash. It may not just be my cash. It may be mine and someone else's, but I'm about what I want. I bought my son a house during the short sale time. It was like $1,600. They didn't want it. They said, I don't want nothing to do with it. I can't pay those taxes. The taxes were about $30,000. My son called them and made arrangements to pay it monthly. He didn't always get it right, but he still called them and said, I'm trying. He owned that house, but still, man, we own it outright. Just like when I go and buy other things, we pay cash for it. We got a building in Whitehaven that was just sitting there looking ugly. It was during Ramadan, the night of Majesty Week. I said, Allah, you promised me some things. We rode off the parking lot and we saw that building. We called him right away. He said, oh, a lot of people are trying to buy this property from me. He said, what are you all going to do with it? We said, we want to make it a community thing. We want the community involved. We had great ideas. He said, okay, how much will you give me for it? I said, what do you want? He said, $15,000. My business partner in the background, tell him $7,000. I said, girl, you don't shut up. I said, you got money, right? I got money. We said, good, we'll do it. They did the title search and we closed the next week. I find a lot of deals like that. And don't say you can't find owner financing, because I did it on purpose a month ago, just to see if there's deals out there like that. They are still there. You gotta do the research. So my legacy is, I wanna leave something for my children and my friends, and I want you all to have some rental properties too. Not just be out there selling them to someone else when you can own them. Yeah, it took us about a year to fix that commercial building up because we ain't have the cash. It took us about $100,000 to fix it, but it's ours now, free and clear. All of my properties are free and clear. Yes, I can leverage them, Mrs. Mortgage Lady, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna let my children do that when I die. We're gonna live, maybe here 20 or 30 more years, but I'm not gonna leverage it. My husband may, but I'm not. But that's what I wanted to say. That was my biggest point I wanted to make today, that you all get out and own something. Because you don't need to buy expensive purses and clothes. It's an old dress and I still look good. Stop spending money like that. Save and sacrifice. You don't have to go out and eat every day because you don't even like that food when you get home. I just need to spend $100. Cook at home, eat for 3 days.
So my business legacy, I would say, I think here recently we lost over at 43% black home ownership. We lost the point. And when I tell you, when I saw those statistics, it felt like somebody had kicked me in my stomach. Much like Cheryl, I didn't talk about what inspired me to get into real estate, but I had a really bad experience as a 22-year-old, single parent, first generation homeowner. I was determined to buy a house, but, you know, to see those points drop, my legacy would be, to increase those numbers, more black brokers, more black presidents without being the first, you know, more black coaches, more black resources for real estate. Legacy starts with income. If we're not making the amount of money that we need to make to survive, then we can't buy investment properties because we're barely making the mortgage. So coaching helps that. More coaches that share the same perspective and struggle. Don't tell a black man to go door knocking. It's not safe for him. So we're in these spaces where people are telling us how to do a thing, but they are not living life the way that we have to live it. You know, boots on the ground. No, it's a little different. My boots look a little different than yours. They on the ground and they stomping, but I'm not getting the same results as you. So sharing their perspective and helping increase black incomes so that we can build those legacies for our families and continue to fight for inclusivity like Ms. Kira here.
I would say, a couple things. As a mother, certainly we want the soft life for our kids, because when you're entrepreneurs, you've given up so much. You sacrifice so much. You know, you went to the corporate job, and then by the time you got home, the kids were asleep in bed, and you get up and watch repeat, and the only time you have to connect with your children is at 7 a.m. ride to school to drop them off, and then you watch repeat. And so, the hope is that you sacrifice so much that those children get the benefit of that labor, and the benefit of those experiences. So I would say that, hopefully I'll get to a point where, they have an understanding of what wealth is, not riches, but wealth. And those things, those lessons that I sacrifice for become the foundation of how they move forward. From a business perspective, and certainly from like my NAREB perspective, because I don't separate the two. I don't know anything but to have been a realtist my entire career. But to make sure that, we walk in intention around how we build community for each other. What Tia is saying is exceptionally important because, Memphis, we get a lot of criticism that impacts our business. We get a lot of shade, those of us who are native to Memphis and native to certain neighborhoods and communities, we know what it took. So that's, we take the hit, but the reality is there's no comparison for what we here as boots on the ground